just testing the sound quality, so if you can let me know if we're okay. If not, let us know as well. But yes, just give me a second. Okay guys, good evening and welcome to the GR3 Endurance, home of Le Mans. This evening we are at the Circuit de la Sarthe, I believe that's how you pronounce it, obviously in French. But yes, we are at the famous Le Mans 24-hour circuit for round 2 of the hour-and-a-half long endurance race. It should be an absolute fantastic night of racing, and also it will be very tense because the laps around here are not the best. It is over just, well, maybe up to 4 minutes a lap, but obviously, you know, it's an hour-and-a-half race, so it's going to be a long race and anything can happen in that hour and a half. If you remember rightly, at Dragon Trails Seaside last time out, last Monday, there was quite some close proximity battles, as well as a couple of cars chasing each other down, and it looked like there was a lot of contest between a couple of the like the BMWs, etc., as well as the Ford GT40s that are currently on stream. But you know, anything can happen, as I say, in this hour and a half race, and obviously with a 10-minute qualifying session as well. So the guys have been roughly going to be racing for almost near enough 2 hours this evening. It is a shame that obviously it doesn't go from day to night transition, which would have been really nice to see. But never mind, we are in glorious sunshine, so there is going to be a lot happening this evening. I believe some of the drivers have changed cars, and some of the drivers are probably going to be sticking it out in their original cars. So we do have Chris Wheatley in the Ford GT40, seems to be the benchmark at the moment with a 3-minute 38.3, which seems to be the best car around here at the moment from what I've seen. Then you got obviously Lee Fitzy now in the Jaguar F-Type. I don't know whether he's had a bit of an issue with the Corvette last week, which seems to really drink all its fuel last week, if you remember rightly. But it seems the Jaguar F-Type seems to be quite famously well, Jaguar seems to be a famous brand within the endurance after winning, I believe, a race round here at Le Mans in the early days. Then you got Scott Dalby in the other Jaguar, also known as Scott Skyner. Looking forward to seeing what he can do. He's actually fresh from a Bathurst 12-hour that was taking place over the weekend, and it seems likely that, you know, maybe that 3-hour stint that he did on Saturday afternoon, maybe slash evening, is probably going to get him in good shape and form for this evening. Maybe he's going to be the one to watch. We'll see about how well he does in the Jaguar. Then you've got Damien Black, or Daniel, depending on however you want to see this guy. He's in the Ford GT40 currently. Getting used to the Ford GT40 is the German, so we'll see how well he does this evening. Then you've got Craig Thomas, I have no idea what he's trying to imply on the back of his car, but he's in the Aston Martin, the V12 machine. Looking forward to seeing what he's going to do this evening with the Aston Martin. So close to winning last time out at Dragon Trails G-side, but then ultimately ended up finishing 4th. So, you know, there is a lot of drivers out there looking to see what they can do this evening. You've got Rasmus Omeran. I believe he's still in his famous BMW, the M6, the VLN specification M6. It seems to be a very quick car indeed for Rasmus, so the Dane will be going at trying to push on for get another victory for this season. He's going to look forward to try and get his first victory. He was so close to doing it, but he was, you know, he was chasing quite a lot of cars. He had a lot of incidences within the race, so at the moment we are looking forward to seeing who else is going to turn up for this evening's endurance race. It is, as I say, it is going to be very close to see exactly what's going to happen between the lot of them, as well as quite a few guys are quite fast. You know, you got the likes of Chris Wheatley. Obviously, you know, he's fast. He's a champion in Eldar Sim history. So, you know, he's going to be looking forward to seeing what he's going to do this evening for the hour-and-a-half endurance. It is, as I say, it's an hour-and-a-half plus 10 minutes qualifying. So around here at Le Mans, you know, anything can happen. Obviously, taking penalties, you know, you've got to be careful. You know, penalties can be crucial around here, especially if you don't take them at certain points and you just cross that line. You know, that start-finish line, especially that finish line, it creeps up on you without you guys knowing. So, you know, going into certain parts of the circuit, obviously, like Scott gets it crossed up out of the last corner there, which didn't help. It looked like he actually hopped the curb. So, you know, that is exactly what he didn't want to happen. And then obviously, I believe we'll just look at for GT40 at the moment of Daniel then going up towards the Dunlop chicane, so the Dunlop S's, obviously famous with its Dunlop bridge. But yes, this is where a lot of cars have got to be careful, especially on the grid, because it is a standing start and it is going to be getting into that Dunlop chicane very cleanly, because, you know, you may clip the apex one way, but you may have a... But we'll see exactly what's going to happen. So according to what Scott's saying at the moment though, he gets 5 lap with extreme fuel saving, but he can only manage a lap by the sounds of it, which is going to be very interesting. Maybe the guys are going to go for different strategies. Maybe they need to push quite a bit to get more fuel flowing. But is that just the way it goes? And you got obviously Rasmus's BMW. You know, you saw how well he raced last season. Look at him this season. He is going to be very carefully going to be the one to watch for me this evening, because, you know, he knows a lot. I think there's a lot of drivers this evening that are going to be looked out for. I think Craig was also part of the Eldar Sim racing team for the Bathurst 12-hour event over the weekend. So some of the guys are probably going to be looking to see what they're going to do for the likes of so it's like 5 laps, 0 saving. So it seems like it's going to be a long race for some of these guys this evening. But you've got the likes of obviously Rasmus. Obviously the outlaps won't, you know, it seems the timers were kind of stuck on the outlaps, but at the moment seeing what the guys are going to do. So there is quite a few cars, seems like they're going to be struggling at the moment then. So we'll see exactly what's going to happen for the hour-and-a-half Eldar Sim Go Fudge Yourself GR3 endurance. This is round number 2 here at Le Mans for this evening. So basically it's probably managing, you know, it's trying to manage that fuel wear. So it sounds like lap number 5 could be the crucial lap to go in first to take fuel and preferably tyres. But, you know, I've raced around here in a GR4 Mustang. So obviously Le Mans is happy hunting ground for me personally. It seems like obviously the way I was doing, I think I actually finished 4th overall, I believe it was. Finished 4th overall, and then I actually got onto the podium because the guy that I was actually did win the race, that he wasn't in the correct requirement lobby at the time. So yeah, I've raced around here. It seems like, you know, I managed to get on the podium by someone else getting disqualified, which wasn't the easiest way to do it, but I still put on a good race and actually finished 4th. Also, round here I've done a 2-hour endurance race for Dimension UK, just to put that out there. Did that in March, just so I know exactly how these guys exactly feel. You know, it's not the easiest track to push on for fuel, etc. As Rasmus gives us a bit of a flash of the lights, maybe he's seen himself on stream. But yes, let us know in the comments, guys, who you think is going to win, or who is going to be pushing on for what is going to be an astounding race. I can't wait personally to see what's going to happen for this evening. It seems like, you know, seeing the guys comment at the moment saying lap number 5 is going to be a crucial lap for them, so hopefully my voice doesn't disappear. So we'll see what Rasmus has got. Obviously a Monster excuse me, Monster Energy helmet, so it's very nice. We've got Lee Fitzy in the Jaguar at the moment. Seeing the Welsh flag helmet, so obviously looking at exactly what these guys are going to do. You got Craig Thomas, I believe. Craig actually has a cream egg liveried helmet, so it's quite nice to see. Just having a look what the guys have got at the moment. It looks like Chris Wheatley's gone for a funky design. Scott Dalby with the Red Bull. You know, Scott is an established racer, and we know how well he can do. So we'll see exactly what he's going to do this evening, whether he pushes on for a very good result, even though, you know, he's fresh from a 12-hour endurance race. We'll see exactly what he's going to do this evening. Obviously Daniel, followed by Nick Sargent in the, I believe that's the Luke Reed style Ginetta. I'm sure he will pick me up on that if I am wrong, but yes, it's good to have Nick, obviously the founder of Eldar, in this lobby. He is in the yeah, it will be the Luke Reed Ginetta if I remember rightly, but he's in the Jaguar, so, you know, fair play to him. He had a bit of a torrid time at Dragon Trail on the Seaside course, maybe because, you know, he was working during the day and it had caught him up, and, you know, maybe the Jaguar wasn't up to speed, but I'm not going to put the commentator's curse on him. But yes, it is going to be fantastic this evening. I am looking forward to seeing what these guys are actually going to emulate for this evening. So there's about 7 drivers at the moment. We are waiting for a few more. So I'm going to grab a quick drink of water, and let us know, guys, in the comments. Give us a shout if you'd like to like and subscribe as well. It would help us out massively. And also, do check us out on Facebook and also Instagram. And also, there is the website, which is www.eldarsimracing.co.uk, and you'll find all the information for all the races that we do, and also all the championships, and a bit about the admins, and also anything else you want to know. Let us know, guys, because we are looking for budding racers. You don't have to be really good at racing. You can jump in and basically start in a lower league and work your way up. We're not going to say you have to be really good. You can be a complete rookie and we'll get you to the right place. And hopefully, you know, do say that Hopper's recommended. You know, that is the legendary Hoppers that he's doing the commentary. You know, I am purely looking forward to this evening. So you got the likes of obviously Casper in the BMW. I believe he's still in the BMW. You got Sumper in, I believe, I can't remember what Sumper is in. I think it is the Audi R8 if I remember rightly. So yeah, there's quite a mixture of GT cars for this evening. Rasmus looks like he's got that BMW a bit crossed up at the moment. Whether he's just trying to push a bit too hard, I'm not too sure. But I believe, yeah, Casper and the BMW M6, they are quite cool cars for this evening. So there is a lot of, hopefully a lot of pressure for, well, not a lot of pressure, but you know what I mean, a lot of interest. Casper actually did really well to try and catch up to Gareth Morris at Truck and Trail Seaside. So, you know, there is a lot that is going to happen this evening. Hopefully, we will be putting on a good show for you guys. I'm looking forward to exactly seeing what everyone can do this evening. So, it is going to be close. I'll see exactly who else is around, but it's going to be spectacular. I really like GT racing. Obviously, yeah, we've been in the commentary box. I don't do a lot of racing, so you know, I'm sat here watching what goes on, as well as keeping an eye on things during the stream. Just if anything needs to be my attention. But at the moment, so far so good. So we've got Lee Fitzy in the Jaguar, followed by Daniel in his Ford GT. Casper with a nice 0.9 of a second penalty. Oh, it's actually now 1.4 of a second. Maybe he's clipped the wall there somehow. So we'll see exactly what is going to happen with that. So Sumper is in the Audi R8. Of course, he's one of the fast cars. It's obviously a fast German car, because obviously you've got the likes of obviously the BMWs. So we'll see exactly what is going to happen. We do have, as I say, an hour and a half race, so it is an hour and 30 minutes. It may feel longer, purely because of the length of the circuit here at Circuit d'Alzaf for this evening. Obviously Nick in the seems to be a lot of interest. So we've got to look at his helmet there. It's quite a very nice styled helmet, and obviously, you know, he's going to be pushing on to see exactly what's going to happen for his Jaguar this evening. Maybe the Jaguar may be up to speed around here, I am not too sure. But you've got Craig Thomas just roughly just ghosted the Aston Martin at the moment. Maybe he's just having a bit of a moment, so hopefully he'll get going in a moment. Chris Wheatley and of course Sumper are still in pit lane at the moment, so we'll see exactly what's going to happen. So we'll see exactly what the guys are going to think. Hopefully you guys can hear me loud and clear. Just let me know if you don't. It's not a problem. I'm not going to be offended. So Adam Morgan, he is not Touring Car Superstar. It is the Welsh Superstar with the same namesake. Just joined. I can't remember what Adam is actually in from last week. I don't know whether he raced last week. I'm not too sure. I can't remember the top of my head. This shows how much I know from last week. So we'll see exactly what is going to happen. So obviously we've got a few people just joining the lobby. So Samper in the Audi R8 and obviously Adam Morgan. So we'll see what excuse me, we'll see what Adam Morgan is in. I think the reigning Tier 2 champion. So Tier 2 is obviously on the same track, but it is not live stream. Well, it is live stream, but it is a point of view from Brian Ross. So if you want to check that out, do. It is on the Elderson Racing channel. as well. I believe Darren Baldwin, that race is in Tier 2, is streaming from his point of view as well. And I believe for here, Sumper is also doing the same. So it's nice to see people wanting to do their point of views, because, you know, it gives us a chance to see exactly how well they did. So penalties are crucial around here. Obviously make sure it's off the racing line if you are taking them, and then obviously you'll be pushed on. So at the moment I think the camera decided to throw a wobble up for a moment. It was keeping an eye on Sumper's LDR8, but we'll see what happens. Chris Wheatley is heading out, well that's Craig actually heading out of pit lane. So we'll see what Adam Morgan enters. So I believe we are at near enough 10 drivers, maybe, and we've got one more coming. I'm not too sure if Gareth Morris is making it this evening, I'm not too sure, but we'll soon find out. So we'll see exactly what is going to happen. I'm just trying to find out exactly, catch up to the stream. But yes, I'm going to grab a quick drink, and I'll catch you guys in a moment or two. Yes, guys, that is right, I am back. Right, so what is going to happen for this evening? Personally, from the commentator's point of view, even though it's an hour and a half race, I seem to recall that, you know, within the tyre phase, so it's going to be like 10 laps, or 10 minutes minimum on all the softs and the mediums. There is no hard compound, and it's only softs and mediums this time round. So depending on exactly what is going to happen for this evening, it is going to be close to see exactly. I'm hoping guys like Rasmus and obviously likes of Casper, so the two BMW drivers at the moment that are currently on stream. Well, obviously one of them is, but obviously third and fourth in the tournament at the moment seem to be whether they get a good start, because the BMW is quite a quick car, and I believe you know, the likes of the Jaguar and of course the Audi. Bear in mind, there's no mistake. Obviously, Samper's got a bit of a penalty at the moment, so you know, he's got a 1.5 second penalty. Obviously, Craig Thomas's Aston Martin may be another car to beat. You know, Craig's very established racer. He's won races in the past. And speaking of Gareth Morris, he has entered. Adam Morgan actually is in the Aston Martin this time round. He was in the Corvettes, the Chevrolet Corvette last season, but now he is now in the Aston Martin. So it is going to be nice to see exactly how well he's going to do for this evening. So we'll see exactly how well that's looks like a funky swirl on that car. So we'll see how well he does for this evening. So we'll see exactly what is going to happen between the two Aston Martins. There's a couple of Jaguars and of course a couple of BMWs. So looking at Rasmus here, Rasmus Omeron seems to be the benchmark. I remember a huge battle with Darren Baldwin between the pair of them at Simcoa last season. Obviously Rasmus in the BMW that he's using now, and obviously Darren in the VW Beetle, which seemed to be a very interesting battle on the last lap. So it is quite a, you know, the cars are equally spread out at the moment, but whether they spread out within certain time frames is another thing. But hopefully we'll get in for good battles tonight. Obviously Gareth Morris in the BMW seems to be wanting to emulate exactly what he's going to do from last week at Dragon Trail, and it's going to be very close to see how well everyone is going to do this evening. So obviously, you know, with the racing itself, as I say, anything can happen. It is a very, it can be a very long and probably I'm not going to say painful because that's the wrong word to describe, but it's going to be very challenging for these guys, whether it's an hour and a half or almost a 10-minute qualifying to start with. Obviously a maximum or minimum of 10 minutes, so it's going to be very close. Good evening, Kim, how are you doing? Nice to see you in the stream. You're doing well. But yes, it is Monday and it is a very started a new racing week. So, you know, it is going to be fantastic to see how well these guys do. So I've got plenty of water, a bottle of Dr. Pepper, that should be keeping me going for the hour and a half. But who knows exactly what's going to happen. So I need to keep hydrated because I feel like, you know, it is very important. And, you know, especially when you do an hour and a half commentary as well. So it's going to be fantastic. Looks like the likes of Craig Thomas and obviously Adam Morgan, both Welsh men, currently trying to push on. Whether, you know, certain things between the Aston Martins as the frame rate drops a bit out of these corners, whether that's just the way it goes. But seeing what they've got on the back of the cars makes me think, well, is it an inter-team rivalry? Because they've got the likes of the Aston Martins, the V12, so it's going to be very close to see exactly what is going to happen. So obviously Gareth Morris will go on board with the BMW out of, I believe that's the second chicane. I can't remember the corner names top of my head around here, which may go against my advantage here, but certainly for my racing point of view, you know, I've done a few races around here, so, you know, maybe we'll see how well everyone else gets on. So it's going to be very close to see exactly what's going to happen. Hopefully, you know, during the racing, so you got the likes of Adam Morgan, so it's not British Touring Car Star, it is the Welsh namesake. I have to, you know, people probably think, well, if you really got the real life Adam Morgan, obviously, yeah. serve penalties on every straight. I'm not too sure about that, mate. If I remember rightly, I'll just double check what we agreed. Let's have a look. Let's have a look, see. Yeah, so it is on every straight, but safe areas offline. So if you got a penalty, take it down the straight, but make sure it is off the racing line. It is in a safe place to do so, because you don't want to hold everyone else up. Looking at Scott Dalby's time then, 3 minutes 56.5, then that seems to be quite quick for the Jaguar. So there is 11 cars out on the grid this evening, so it will be very interesting to see exactly how well everyone's going to do. Obviously, you know, from what Scott was saying before, it seems the Jaguar, you know, is drinking up fuel quite a bit, so it may get towards lap number 5 and you're almost out of fuel, but then you've got to stop again to take the tyres. So do you take the gamble, put fuel on and then take tyres, but is that going to push you short of your 10 minutes minimum to get there? You know, is it going to be with that sort of complex? But you know, the guys will pick and choose their strategies. Obviously, you know, 10 minutes minimum for the likes of changing tyres from the softs to the mediums or vice versa. But you know, it's going to be quite a lot. You know, you got to be careful. Do you take that gamble and think, well, I'll push the fuel load to where I want it to be? But you know, it's going to be quite a lot of interest to see how well everyone else is going to do for, obviously, this evening. It seems, you know, certain cars may be suited, but it sounds like we will be getting ready to go very shortly. So it should be very good to see how well certain cars. I don't know what cars are going to be suited. It seems the Jaguar at the moment seems to be, in practice, seems to be setting the pace now. It was Chris Wheatley's Ford GT40, but then obviously you've got Lee Fitzey in the Jaguar just coming through the back end of the circuit now. So you know, this is where a lot of action will probably take place, because it is going to be pushing towards the back end of the lap, obviously, to go into the pit lane. Obviously, you know, maybe just to get into pit lane, they've got to get across there early. You know, you can, but you know, you can't get into pit lane if you make a mistake going out of the final 2 turns here. So see exactly what's going to happen going down the start finish line. It seems there is a lot of interest, so we'll see exactly how well people are going to go. But you've got the 2 Danish guys, obviously Rasmus and Casper, both in BMWs. Casper in the normal BMW M6, and then you got Rasmus in the VLN specification. So it looks like, you know, keep an eye on them. They could be very close. So the 2 Danish guys, maybe emulating Tom Christensen, none other than 7-time Danish Le Mans 24-hour winner. So we'll see exactly what is going to happen in the 10-minute qualifying. So we will be good to go. And look at them brake discs already glow with Rasmus's BMW there. So we'll see exactly what is going to happen. So there's quite a few cars going to be pushing on. So it looks like Chris Wheatley's already had that fight, and so is Daniel to get out of the pit lane. So there's a couple of guys. We'll just make sure everyone gets out the pit lane okay, just for the time being. So it looks like Sample will be the last one to leave in his Audi R8, maybe to just sit there and think about exactly what's going to happen. And it's already looking likely that the guys are going to be pushing on for quite some time, because we have got quite a bit, and Lee Fitzey already has picked up a penalty, which he's got a 5/10 penalty there, which isn't going to do him well, but he's on his outlap, so hopefully during his moment or two, he's obviously gone offline there to take it. So Nick's also picked up a penalty, so it's Gareth Morris. Maybe the clips the curbs into the Dunlop chicane, so it's going to be very close. So going into the first chicane, it looks like Chris Wheatley and Daniel already trying to battle for track position. You know, it's not easy, especially on your outlap, so you know, it's going to be very close to see exactly how well everyone does. So Daniel's got a 5-10th penalty, whether it was a slight contact from obviously Chris Wheatley, but it is only the outlap of qualifying, so you know, you can see probably only get maybe one chance to set a time, depending on how quick they go through the circuit, obviously. So we'll see exactly what's going to happen. So we've got Scott Dalby obviously trying to push that Jaguar all the way with 8 minutes to go in qualifying. So it's going to be very close to see exactly what is going to happen. So we've got Casper as well. Looking forward to seeing what he can do this evening. Obviously Lee Fitzy in the Jaguar, so he's in another F-Type. And then you've got Adam Morgan, and then obviously Nick, and of course Gareth Morris, and of course Samper at the moment. Obviously he's going to be very close on times around here. It was looking in the practice, it was a 3-minute 56, I believe, from Scott Dalby, so maybe early 3:56s, maybe towards the 4-minute mark for times of qualifying. As I say, it all depends on certain bits and pieces. So it looks like as well Chris Wheatley leads them away then towards the latter half of the lap now. Go on board with the Ford GT and see what he's going to do. So we're on board with the Ford GT40 going towards the latter half of the lap. I will try and remember certain bits and pieces of the circuit, but it's quite very close at the moment. It seems the Ford GT40 seems to be on the softs at the moment for qualifying. I believe the majority of the field are going to be on the soft, so for qualifying with 6.5 minutes to go. So we'll see what happens. Seems like Craig Thomas is pushing that Aston Martin quite a bit, so it seems, you know, there's a lot of waste to go within that. And then you've got Daniel followed by Scott Dalby and obviously Casper. So at the moment it does seem like all the guys are on the softs at the moment, so it seems it's the way it's going to go. So we'll see exactly what's going to happen now, because they will start their first flying lap. It probably will be the only attempt, no doubt, but we'll see exactly what is going to happen for this evening. So we do have, excuse me, Casper followed by Lee Fitzy and of course Adam Morgan and Nick, and then obviously Gareth Morris and of course Samper at the moment. So 5.5 minutes to go. This is where it is going to count, because you know, we do have a lot of laps to be done here this evening. Whether the guys will push on and try and say, well, we'll get another lap out of it. The fuel in certain cars may be shorter, depending on what sort of strengths they've got, but we'll see exactly what is going to happen. So put up the display at the moment, so looking likely going down the Mulsanne Straight. You know, to put chicanes in to slow the cars down, because the cars were getting very quicker, and you know, that is why the two chicanes are at either end. So this is where it feels like, and especially it will throw a blue flag when the car isn't getting lapped. It's just because of obviously the nature of the chicane. So we'll see exactly what is going to happen. See exactly what is going to happen. So at the moment, Rasmus chasing down the pole position. Obviously, getting the toe round here, going into the chicanes can't happen. You know, there's a couple of guys that are trying to get the toe off each other at the moment. We'll see exactly what everyone's going to do. We've got just under 4 minutes now to go, so this could be it. You know, Daniel's got a 5/10 penalty yet again, whether he's had a bit of contact or just went a bit over the line too much. So this is where it's going to be very close. So there's quite a few cars now just equally spread out. I believe Sampa's Audi R8. Gareth Morris has a 0.2 second penalty with 3.5 minutes to go in qualifying for round number 2 of the Go For Yourself GR3 Endurance. So it's going to be very close. Chris Wheatley, maybe he wants to emulate a lot of things what he's done in the past with his racing. It seems, from what I've seen, this guy do his racing is absolutely phenomenal, and it is absolutely top class. But you know, it's going to probably take him a bit of time to get through this quite a bit twisty stuff of the Le Mans circuit now, with just under 3 minutes to go in qualifying. Rasmus still there in second at the moment. We'll see exactly what's going to happen, because I have a feeling come towards the end of the lap, times will be coming in thick and fast, and it will be close as you like between a few certain drivers, and maybe who knows exactly what's going to happen. So 2.5 minutes to go. It will probably be another lap depending on certain times. Obviously certain cars may be obviously first to finish, but we'll see exactly what's going to happen. Chris Wheatley coming through the latter half now. He's going to get this lap sewn up. Is he going to be pushing onto the curbs, or is he just going to play it cool? Clips the apex though, which is fair enough. He clips the apex into the last chicane, and he's about to cross the line and do a 3 minute 38.2, so he's got another lap then to go. The ones that are obviously there, Rasmus with a 4-minute 5, Craig Thomas with a 4-minute 0, so that's put him there. Obviously Casper currently in third then with a 3:58 rather, and obviously he's got Dalby top of the tree then with a 3-minute 57.4. So some of the guys that were able to get through have actually pushed for another lap. So Gareth Morris with a 4-minute 0999, which has kind of pushed him into that back half of that table at the moment then, with Daniel and of course Dick Sargent 9th and 10th at the moment, with I believe Sampa's about to cross the line. So we've actually got one more lap to go, which is fantastic to see. Sampa actually goes 5th fastest, 3-minute 59.3, so that's quite a good time for the Audi R8 driver, the Flying Finn, pushing on quite into the Dunlop chicane, and maybe he's going to see exactly what's going to happen. But there's a couple of cars getting the toe off each other with 37 seconds remaining, so you know, it seems like at the moment the Jaguar from the GT40 followed by the BMW, so it's three cars in the top 3 positions, so 3 different cars at the moment it seems. So that's going to be very good to see exactly what's going to happen. So obviously Scott Dalby currently 4th, I think maybe 5th in the train of cars, still leads the way then with 10 seconds to go. So qualifying is near enough over and done with, but they've got this flying lap to get in, so hopefully it will push on. So they do have roughly 4.5 minutes to now complete the lap, so you know, they do have one last chance to try and improve. You can see Chris Wheatley there in that Ford GT40. Is he going to be one that sets the benchmark and gets onto pole position for the race, it seems? But we'll see exactly what's going to happen. He's got Rasmus chasing him, not literally chasing him just yet, but you know, it's going to be very close. Got Adam Morgan 4th at the moment in the qualifying results. Obviously Casper 3rd at the moment, followed by Sampa's fast-paced lap of an Audi R8 at the moment. Seems to be, I know he's at the tail of the field at the moment, but maybe he just plays it cool and waits to get fresh air, because it can be hampered down here here at Le Mans, especially going down into obviously the chicanes down the Mulsanne Straight. So it's going to be very close. Lee Fitzy 6th at the moment, and Craig Thomas 7th in the Aston Martin, Rasmus 8th in his BMW, with Gareth Morris in the other BMW, the VLN machine. So 2 VLN BMWs at the moment, 8th and 9th. Obviously Daniel sitting out for the rest of qualifying, 10th place in that Ford GT40, and obviously Nick's Jaguar at the moment pushing on. Whether Nick's struggling at the moment in that Jaguar is yet to be seen, but I'm sure come the race he will push on and he will get that Jaguar to where he wants it to be, the number 54 Jaguar F-Type. So we'll see exactly what's going to happen. You've got the likes of obviously Scott Dalby obviously trying to emulate what he did at the weekend. Maybe the pace was good enough, but he's actually picked up a 5/10 penalty at the moment, so that's going to hurt him this time round. So is that going to allow Chris Wheatley to get onto provisional pole position, or is it going to be too much? We'll soon find out. He actually goes first place with a 3-minute 57.3. So that lap time was close. So that's knocked down Scott Dalby to roughly 2nd place at the moment. Then Adam Morgan in the Aston Martin goes to provisional with a 3-minute 57.0. So it seems it's going to be a lot of interest. So the Aston Martin versus the GT40 versus the Jaguar. Obviously Casper 4th in the BMW then, so the BMW seems to be a bit of a challenge, with obviously Craig Thomas's Aston Martin goes into 5th then, and it seems that Rasmus gets into 6th. Stamper gets knocked down, but he's coming through the final chicane. He looks like he could be pushing on. We'll see exactly what he's going to do. Is he going to put this car onto pole position? He goes 4th with a 3-minute 57.9, so that is a good lap, and I'll tell you what, it's going to be very exciting. I can't wait to see. Nick actually jumps up to 9th then, because of the likes of Daniel sitting in pit lane and Gareth Morris unfortunately 10th place. It seems at the moment that BMW of Gareth Morris seems to be struggling at the moment, but the fuel wear is going to be very interesting. Same with the likes of tyre wear, so it looks like the guys are going to be very close. We'll see exactly what is going to happen in a couple of moments time, where we have the second race of the season here at Circuit de la Sarthe here in Le Mans in front. It seems that we're going to be in for close proximity. We will see how well everyone is going to go. It is a long race, it's an hour and a half endurance, so it's going to be pushing. You know, last season it was an hour long, but this time it's half an hour longer, and we'll see exactly what is going to happen. It will be action packed, don't get me wrong, but you will be seeing quite some interesting battles. So it looks like at the moment, and the ones to watch for me at the moment is obviously Scott Dalby and of course Chris Wheatley and Adam Morgan at the moment, and it will be close to see how well they do. It looks like Daniel's just sat there just waiting for the timer to run out. Maybe the GT40, he's struggling in the GT40 at the moment, but we'll see exactly what's going to happen. So qualifying has now finished, and it seems that quite a few of the guys are going to be pushing on to see exactly what's going to happen. I thought it was that, Nick. I thought it was a Luke Free Ginetta livery. Looks very nice on the Jaguar. But yes, guys, we are getting ready to go for the second race of the season. And it looks like, look at that view of the cars heading towards turn 1. It is a standing start, so anything can happen, and we will see what is going on. The revs are building, my revs are going to build as well, and we've got the green light. Who is going to get a good start in towards turn number 1? It looks like, looking at the tail of the field though, we're seeing Chris Wheatley and Adam Morgan, and you've almost got quite a few cars going nose to tail. So the top 3 in qualifying are currently in the same position. Rasmus Omeron though in that BMW trying to push on. He's trying to get already up into 5th place. He's got Samper in 4th, Scott Dalby in 3rd at the moment. Craig Thomas in 6th, dropped a place down on the grid, and Nick Sargent actually got a really good jump from 8th place on the grid in that Luke Reed Ginetta inspired livery. And it looks like Craig Thomas has a bit of a penalty. He's got to be careful because he's going to be now swamped by that field, which goes down to the Morrison straight for the first time, it seems. And it looks like Gareth Morris is at the tail of the field as well. But in the lead is Adam Morgan, followed by Scott Dalby. Chris Wheatley then in 3rd, then for GT40 in 3rd place. Rasmus up into 5th, Samper 5th. Nick Sargent is the 6th at the moment, looking likely. The moves could be on here going into the first chicane. It looks like Lee Fitz's got past Daniel for 8th place at the moment. But looking at what's going on though, there's quite a few battles galore. There's a penalty in the background. I'll see who that is in a moment. But seeing exactly what's going to happen. So Nick currently in 5th, Samper 6th, Lee Fitzy and Daniel battling. Casper, was that Casper or was it Craig with the penalty? Oh, it was Craig with the penalty again. He's missed the gear by the sounds of it, so we'll see exactly what's happening. But Scott Dalby takes the lead of the race going into the other chicane. It seems like the Jaguar seems to be working quite well at the moment, so we'll see exactly what's going to push on. It seems like, you know, Adam Morgan's Aston Martin versus Rasmus. Nick up into 4th then, trying to get very close to the chasing pack, but while trying to get away from the chasing pack, should I say, with Daniel in 5th, with Chris Wheatley in 6th. The GT40s seem to be struggling at the moment. Seems to be like they're having a bit of an issue. The BMWs as well. There's only, obviously, the BMW of Rasmus seems to be pushed on. Chris Wheatley in 6th and Samper 7th. Casper in 8th with Lee Fitzy getting swamped by his good mates at the moment. It seems Gareth Morris and of course his cousin Craig Thomas and Robin there trying to push on. We'll see exactly what's happening up the road. Nick's gone into 3rd then, took 3rd from Rasmus at the moment it seems, so we'll see exactly what's going to happen. We've still got an hour and 27 minutes to go in this race. So the Luke Ginetta inspired Jaguar Rasmus has a 3/10 penalty. He's got to be careful because that is going to cost him ground now with the chasing pack trying to chase down. And it looks like Daniel will get into 4th place and he will be chasing now. It seems like we've got a bit of a battle on our hand between Rasmus and Daniel at the moment it seems. And there's quite a lot of cars at the back it seems. Gareth Morris and of course Samper and of course Chris Wheatley trying to make it 3 cars wide there, but that's not going to work because the gravel track will end up catching you. But at the moment it seems Chris Wheatley trying to hold on for dear life, trying to hold off the BMW of Gareth Morris, and of course the LDR rate of Samper with Lee Fitzy and Craig Thomas, both the cousins at the tail of the field at the moment. But Scott Dalby will lead them away to tick off lap number 1 there. Adam Morgan still in 2nd place with Nick Sargent in that beautiful Luke Reed Ginetta inspired livery Jaguar. It's going to be very close in 3rd at the moment, followed by Daniel, followed by Rasmus and Casper. The 2 Danes catching up to the Germans, so Daniel's going to have to try and defend like mad from these 2 BMWs. Rasmus is going to go all over onto the attack going in towards the Dunlop chicane for the 2nd time. It almost seems nose to tail, but he's got to be careful because he's got Casper behind him. It seems, who is that with a penalty? Oh, Daniel's got a penalty, so that is going to hurt him very badly going down the back Mulsanne straight. It looks like Chris Wheatley versus Gareth Morris. Samper has a penalty himself, so that's going to be hurting Chris Wheatley now. Under threat from Gareth Morris, the Ford GT40 under threat from the BMW. It seems the BMW is going to get onto there. Samper is taking his penalty, which is almost held up Lee Fitzy and of course Craig Thomas, but we'll see exactly what's happening further up the road. Obviously Gareth Morris is trying to get that BMW. The BMW seem to be working quite a bit now. Chris Wheatley and Gareth Morris then go side by side yet again into the first chicane, but we'll see exactly what's happening. It looks like Rasmus and of course Casper trying to push on. Daniel's trying to get back up to that group, but it seems like at the moment Rasmus and Casper, the two Danes, looks like Casper's going to go onto that advantage and take that move into the second chicane. It is going to be very close. The number 11 car versus the, I believe it's the 44, I'm not too sure, we'll see exactly in a moment or two, but Casper tries to get that move done. He actually goes on to that move and gets it done very well, and it looks like Rasmus has to concede another place. It's actually the number 14 BMW, so I do apologise, but it looks like Casper at the moment trying to catch up to Nick, but Nick also trying to catch up to Adam Morgan at the moment. So Adam Morgan, obviously Adam Morgan, I nearly called him the Morganator then because I nearly got myself really confused, but Nick Sargent comes onto the attack. He gets that move done in that Jaguar, it seems. So the Jaguar tries to push on, and it seems the Jaguars are actually working astounding at the moment. Obviously we've still got a long way to go in this race. You can just see the timer on the right hand corner with an hour and 23 minutes to go. It seems the Jaguar's still under threat from that Aston Martin with Adam Morgan. Adam Morgan's trying to get past Nick Sargent for second place, trying to get that place back. Seems a lot of dirt's been kicked up at the moment, but there's a bit of contact between the likes of Adam Morgan and of course Nick, but it's only, I suppose it's a tap with the battle. Now the battle could almost be 6 cars for potentially second place at the moment, it seems. Or is it 5 cars? I do apologise, it looks like 5 cars as Casper goes a bit wide into that corner there, but that's also allowed Rasmus to get alongside, well, tuck back in behind Daniel's Ford GT40. You can just see how quick, but it's going to be playing into the hands of Scott Dalby that leads the race at the moment. Rasmus tries to make a move. It looked like, was there a bit of a tap or not? No, there wasn't, but Rasmus gets through into 5th place then, ahead of the Ford GT40. But it looks like at the moment Nick's got a train of cars between himself and Adam Morgan and Casper. Got to be careful because Rasmus is also on that charge. It almost seems there's a lot of things going on here at the moment. It seems that Casper's going to try and get past Adam Morgan. He may try and get 2 cars in one go. Nick's trying to hold them up and say, not on your life sunshines, I want to get this place, but he almost backs them up, you know, backs Adam Morgan up to Casper. Rasmus is almost there, but Scott Dalby leads the race. He's still up the road with 9.1 of a second, so you know the endurance race maybe have helped his style already. So Nick's trying to push away from this group of cars with Adam Morgan chasing him down. Rasmus and of course Casper almost side by side going out of the double up chicane, with Daniel trying to push them on, with Gareth Morris also lurking in the background. You can see the 3rd BMW there between the Ford GT40 with Rasmus and of course Casper at the moment. The 2 Danes almost side by side. We'll see exactly what's happening, but Rasmus goes in to the defensive mode because he's got Daniel right behind him. He's gone board with the Ford GT40 down the Mulsanne Street for the 3rd time then. It seems he's getting very close up to Rasmus. You can just see the door was closed slightly but surely, but it's looking likely the move's going to be, oh my day, it's going to be 3 cars, isn't there? 3 cars going down the front, back straight rather. Oh, Daniel's got that move done up into 4th then. Fudge GT40 seems to be pushing on. He's got the trio of BMWs behind him. We'll see exactly what's going on. Chris Wheatley and with Craig Thomas also behind, so the Welsh boys are trying to push on at the moment. It seems Craig Thomas trying to push past Chris Wheatley. They've obviously raced against each other for a long time now. Lee Fitzy in 10th with Samper 11th. Maybe the Audi's struggling a bit and he's trying to get some air, but it looks like Scott Dalby's going to be pushing on. Nick's still pushing on, trying to get away from Adam Morgan, but it seems the light of obviously Daniel and of course Casper and of course Rasmus. Rasmus has dropped down to 6th, so it looks like the trio of BMWs are trying to push their way up towards the front, but it's almost going to be very close. But you've got Adam Morgan and Nick Sargent 2nd and 3rd respectively, with Daniel's Ford GT40 in 4th place then. It seems that that's allowing Scott Dalby to actually breakaway, but at the moment Adam Morgan on that move going into, oh nice there I believe, so that it's got up into second. Oh, Nick's lost it. Nick's lost it in that Jaguar. He's now dropped down to 5th place. That is not what he wanted. It looked like the car jinked one way and jinked another way, but we'll see exactly what happens. But that's allowed Adam Morgan to try and get up and close. But Daniel's on the move. Daniel seems to get that Ford GT40. It almost seems a lot of cars now trying to spread and trying to actually race a bit. But that's allowed Scott Dalby, as you can see, 12.3, 12.7, I beg your pardon, in the race lead at the moment, with Daniel trying to battle for second with Casper. Casper's got that BMW right there where he wants it. He's trying to push on. He's got Daniel trying to push on as well. Adam Morgan dropped down to 4th then, with Rasmus Omeron almost in 5th, with Nick down in 6th, with Gareth Morris chasing him. So it looks like the Jaguar seems to be a bit too soon, but we'll see exactly what's happening. Gareth Morris is going for that move. You can just see the BMW alongside the Jaguar, a bit of paint rubbing there between the two of them. That's allowed to, obviously it's going to be nose to tail between the pair of them. Also Craig Thomas is there, Chris Wheatley in 9th, with Lee Fitzy in the other Jaguar 10th, and Samper 11th for the moment. But this is really helping Scott Dalby escape up the road in the race lead. Casper still in 2nd, Daniel 3rd at the moment, with Adam Morgan and Rasmus behind. It seems Adam Morgan's going to try and push that Aston up into 3rd place by the end of the next lap, I believe. We'll soon find out, but Rasmus is there, Gareth Morris 6th, Nick now in 7th, trying to push that Luke Reed's one to Ginetta. It's going to be very close, but it's not a Ginetta, it's a Jaguar. It's obviously Luke Reed to Ginetta from this season's paint scheme. Obviously with Craig Thomas trying to push that Aston Martin, the Welsh Aston Martin, the other Welsh Aston Martin up in 7th, but going out to the Dunlop chicane then. Daniel's got another penalty. Oh, Nick's got a 5/10 penalty as well. So this is going to hurt him now, because that will concede that 7th place to Craig Thomas at the moment. We are almost going to be very close towards a pit stop window. It seems like the race is going to be going on for quite some time, but looking at the race up front, looks like Daniel needs to get rid of that penalty, but that's allowed Adam Morgan to get past. So, you know, in the meantime, there's quite a few cars that will tuck right in between. Rasmus there in 4th place then, trying to get up into the top 3 at the moment. We'll see exactly what's going to happen. So Rasmus 4th then, Adam Morgan 3rd. It's looking likely this is where the battles will be hotting up, because that has allowed Casper to escape. Casper in 2nd. So it's going to be very close to see exactly what's happening with Adam Morgan and Rasmus, and of course Daniel, and of course Gareth Morris now is also there. Craig Thomas isn't far behind. Nick Sargent isn't also far behind. Chris Wheatley's got a bit of a gap though. There's a bit of a gap to Chris Wheatley. But looking at what's going on into the 2nd chicane, it looks like we're going to be in for a fantastic battle between Rasmus and Adam Morgan. It seems the Dane versus the Welshman seems to be lurching. You can just see exactly what's going to happen. Looks like Adam Morgan's going to get absolutely swamped by that BMW in a moment or two. It looks like the BMW's alongside, almost. Adam Morgan nearly chops the nose off that BMW. But Rasmus goes there, Rasmus goes on the attack. There's quite a bit of paint. Oh, there's a bit of a tap. There's a bit of a tap between Rasmus and of course Adam Morgan. That will not go down very well, so that has allowed Daniel back up to 3rd, Gareth Morris in 4th, Craig Thomas 5th, Nick back up in 6th, Adam Morgan 7th, Chris Wheatley 8th, and Rasmus in 9th, followed by Lee Fitzy in 7th place at the moment. Soon could be literally 9th place, because Rasmus seems to struggle whether he's picked up a bit of damage. It doesn't look like it, but at the moment he's got past Lee Fitzy. He's got to be careful. And Samper in 11th at the moment. Rasmus has got to be careful. You know, he's had a bit of a disappointing start. He was doing very well at the beginning. We're already an hour and 14 minutes to go, but we're still not even halfway to the race yet. This is where it's going to be very close. Adam Morgan on the attack from Chris Wheatley's Ford GT40. The Aston looks very tall, and the Ford GT40 looks very low down on the ground, but the Aston gets past with ease. So we could be in close to see exactly what's going to happen for the pit stop strategies. We'll see exactly how it plays out, but at the moment this is allows Scott Dalby to literally get away from these guys in that Jaguar. He's setting quite good lap times at the moment. Casper second, Daniel third, Gareth Morris chasing him down in that BMW. It seems the BMW and Ford GT40 battle will rage on for another lap. But at the moment, Craig Thomas in the Aston Martin, however, fifth. Nick in the Jaguar, still in 6th place, then doing a stellar job, trying to push on and maybe trying to emulate what he did in the early laps there. But we're already on to lap number 5 then. Adam Morgan in 7th. Chris Wheatley is getting chased by none other than Rasmus. Rasmus trying to chase after getting chased by Lee Fitzy and Sampa, obviously. Don't know whether he's struggling in that Audi at the moment, but it seems there's quite a few cars that are equally spread out at the moment, but we'll see exactly what is going to happen. So Rasmus there in 9th place with Chris Wheatley in 8th at the moment. It seems this is where the battles could be pushing, and I'll tell you what, it wouldn't surprise me if Rasmus tries to get past for that place. So it's going to be very close to see exactly what's happening. But Rasmus at the moment trying to push on for what looks like, oh, Nick's had a penalty. We didn't see that, but he's got to be careful. He's got that gap, but Rasmus is trying to be on the attack. He's got past Chris Wheatley, so it looks like Rasmus is going to be pushing that BMW where he wants it. But looking at what's happening, Chris Wheatley in that Ford GT40, it seems it's coming up on a great speed of knots, but that's a bit of a challenge there because Adam Morgan's dropped down like almost to that battle now, which seems to be the battle for 7th, 8th and 9th, maybe 10th, because Lee Fitz is coming on a charge in that Jaguar. The Jaguar seems to be very close, the F-Type seems to be thereabouts, but Rasmus and Adam Morgan, these two have actually already had a bit of history this evening, already a lap ago. But Adam Morgan's going to try and push on. He probably wasn't happy with that move that Rasmus pulled on him a couple of moments ago, but it does seem, you know, what is going to happen. You know, we are almost at a strategy where it's going to be very close. We'll see exactly what's going to happen. Craig Thomas there in that Aston Martin, you can just see him. 5th place, Nick in 6th place in that Jaguar. It seems the Jaguar is going to be trying pushing on. It seems, oh, he's locked up a brake going into that corner though. Has he locked up a brake, or was it just a bit of late braking? But he's got to be careful because he's got Rasmus and Adam Morgan chasing him down. But this is where it's going to happen, and I believe the pit stops are going to be happening very soon. It seems it is going to be close as you like, but we'll see exactly what's happening. But obviously Nick's going to be careful because he's got Rasmus. Rasmus is going to be pushing that BMW. You can just see the number 14 BMW trying to push away from that Aston Martin and work his way up to that Jaguar, it seems. But we'll see exactly. Chris Wheatley in 9th with Lee Fitzy 10th and Sampa in 11th then. But this is allowing, obviously there's a bit of a battle at the moment between Gareth Morris and Daniel, the other GT40 and BMW M6 battle. It seems the M6 has got the legs of that Ford GT40 going into the back half of the lap. We'll see exactly what's going to happen in a moment or two, but is this going to be very close between the pair of them? But Scott goes into pit lane, Scott Dalby into pit lane then. Is that a strategy what we're on about? Or is that exactly what he was telling us with an hour and 10 minutes to go? So he's lost the race lead, but he will work his way back up. Rasmus in 6th place then, Nick in 7th. followed by Adam Morgan 8th, it seems, at the moment. So it seems at the moment though, where is Scott Dalby going to come out of pit lane? It looks like he's actually come out. Oh, he's actually still in pit lane. That's a bit unfortunate for the Jaguar driver then. So he's going to have to try and push on for quite some time then. He may push on while these guys get a good lap, get another lap in the book. So we're on lap 6 then, out of gosh knows how many. But Casper leads the way then, so Casper will get a couple of points for leading the race at the moment from Gareth Morris, from Daniel, followed by Craig. And Craig's got to be careful because he's got Rasmus, the flying Danishman. You know, the Dane trying to push on to the Welshman. It seems Nick's got that another 5 suffering, or is he just playing it cool because there's still a long way to go in this race? That is allowed Adam Morgan up into 6th then. It seems there's a lot. Scott Dalby has already caught to the back of Sampa on them racing mediums. He's obviously took a bit of a easy challenge there to Sampa at the moment. Whether Sampa's struggling in that Audi R8, but we'll just see exactly how well the Jaguar is going to push on, it seems, for quite some time going into the chicanes. But looking at what's going on, Nick's trying to get up to Adam Morgan, but Chris Wheatley's also down at Ford GT40, but we'll see exactly what's happening. But Craig is chasing Rasmus. Rasmus seems to be pushing, whether it's going to be very close. Craig has that BMW almost in his sights, which seems to be very close now, getting into that chicane. But it's going to be very close. Obviously Gareth Morris and Daniel, they're battling for 2nd and 3rd, and it seems like we've got Casper still leading the race then at the moment, looking very well for could be another BMW win in the championship. Oh, Gareth Morris gets a bit loose. You just seen that BMW get a bit sideways. Maybe now's the time that these guys will catch up. It seems that Rasmus... Oh, Craig Thomas has lost control going out of that corner there. Can we see exactly what happened? So he's going through, trying to chase down Rasmus. I believe he was going into Arnage. He's just trying to push on. Whether he just pushed on a bit too hard and just got loose onto that curb, which then ultimately spun him round. But that's unfortunately that's dropped him down to 7th with a bit of damage on the car. But maybe it'll be time for his pit stop strategy. Chris Wheatley trying to push on in that Ford GT40, so there's quite a few cars eking out that advantage. Scott Dalby, mind you, the first guy to pit. He said it would take quite some time, it would take a bit of time to try and get used to this strategy because it's going to be very close. But Chris Wheatley and of course Lee Fitzy trying to push on. We'll see exactly what is going to happen, but it could be quite some changing strategies in a moment. Gareth Morris though, that fuel looks like it's been drank a lot, but we'll see exactly what's happening. So Casper also looks like he's been drinking a lot of fuel. Well, he hasn't been himself, but the BMW has. So he goes into pit lane now. What is this going to play into the hands of Scott Dalby? You never know, because it looks like everyone's almost going to be coming into pit lane this time round. But we'll see exactly what's happening. Craig Thomas and of course Nick Sargent there. Also the Jaguar versus the Aston Martin. This is where it's going to be close. So it looks like at the moment then Adam Morgan. Gareth Morris is in pit lane. Craig Thomas also on 2nd place at the moment. So it looks like at the moment then the advantage goes to Adam Morgan, followed by Craig Thomas and Chris Wheatley and Lee Fitzy. So it's a Welsh 1, 2, 3, 4 at the moment, with Sampa spoiling the symmetry in 5th place at the moment with Scott Dalby. Scott Dalby's Jaguar. This is going to be very close because Scott Dalby may think, well, these guys in front of me are going to have to pit, and it looks like everyone else is still in pit lane. Casper gets that BMW back into 7th place then, so I reckon between now and maybe the next stint it's going to be down between Scott and of course Casper. It could be very close, but at the moment seeing exactly what's happened. So obviously Casper, Gareth Morris, Daniel, Rasmus, Nick Sargent still in pit lane, coming out of pit lane now. Maybe he got a bit held up with his pit stop, but he's there in 11th for the moment. So Adam Morgan then leads the race with the likes of Craig Thomas and of course Chris Wheatley. So the two Aston Martins leading the race then so far on lap number 7 with 1 hour and 4 minutes to go in this race. This is Chris Wheatley. Did he lock up a brake? Oh, he spun around into that chicane. See exactly what's happened. Hopefully no one collects him while we're looking exactly what went on. Oh, yeah, he just locks up a brake and then the curb just literally spits him out. That's dropped him down into 6th place. Scott Dalby, however, in 3rd place at the moment then. So it looks like the guys that haven't pitted yet, likes of Craig Thomas and of course Adam Morgan. Craig's all over the place in that Aston Martin. You can just see him squirming, and it's going to be very close. But these guys are going to be pitting. That's going to be allowing Scott Dalby to actually get where he wants to be, back in the lead of that race. Sampa's yet to push on whether he'll be the first, the second, a couple of these lot to pit. But this is where it's probably going to happen. Sampa goes for the move on Lee Fitzy into 4th place, then the Audi R8 driver trying to slow down that Audi, it seems. But I think this is what the battle's going to be. I think it's going to be between Scott and of course Casper for the time being. The next stints will be crucial, but it looks like Gareth Morris is under threat from Daniel at the moment, and it seems Rasmus is trying to push on as well. That BMW, maybe early doors when he had a bit of a contact with Adam Morgan, maybe it just held him up a bit and he's trying to play it safe. Nick Sargent still in 11th at the moment. He will get there, but it looks like the battle for the race lead before these guys pit between Adam Morgan and of course Craig Thomas. So it looks like, Craig is going to try and get past his countryman for 1st place. Maybe he will, but that's allowing Scott Dalby to chase these guys down. But these guys will be pitting, I believe. Lee Fitzy also will be there, as well as Chris Wheatley, but we'll see exactly what's going to happen. But I think this is going to play into the hands of Scott Dalby. I think it's going to be very close. We'll see exactly what is going to happen. But going into almost with 1 hour to go in the race, then it's going to be very close. I don't know how many more pit stops these guys are going to make, but looking at Adam Morgan and Craig Thomas at the moment, these guys are probably going to be pitting this time round because they're almost on fumes. So the Aston Martins jump into pit lane, and that's going to allow Scott Dalby into the lead of the race. Then the 33 Jaguar F-Type, it seems. At the moment he's pushing on, he's done a stellar job. Sampa stays out, maybe a bit more coolant in that Audi to keep the fuel regulating. It may be the Fitzy also stays out, so he's going to try and push on and stay there. Chris Wheatley also in the Fudge GT40, so the guys may be pushing quite a bit, but I think that's going to allow the likes of obviously Casper to try and catch back up to Scott Dalby, or are the guys ahead trying to play a strategy where Casper doesn't catch up to the likes of Scott Dalby there. It's got Gareth Morris still in 6th place, Daniel in 7th, Rasmus in 8th then, Nick now up into 9th then, Craig Thomas and of course Adam Morgan. They both come out of the pits, nose to tail. This is where it's going to be very close. That's dropping it back down to 11th. So Nick's going to have to get the hammer down, pardon the pun mate, but he's going to have to get the hammer down to try and literally catch these two ahead of him. But it's going to be very close. It looks like at the moment there's not really much main battles going on at the moment, but Scott Dalby must be thinking, I've had a bit of an experience of the weekend and it's going to be paying off at the moment. So we've got an hour to go in this race then. It's going to be very close, so we could be on course for what could be a famous victory for the Jaguar, whether it's going to be working out. You know, Sampa's there now, he's almost out of fuel in that Audi R8 with Lee Fitz's Jaguar also drinking it. Chris Wheatley's Ford GT40 Casper. This could actually be playing into the hands, depending on how big the gaps get. But I think Scott wants that gap bigger, and he's going to be pushing that Jaguar all the way. But at the moment, Casper's trying to get up to the back of that field, up to that top of that field, trying to literally push on. Gareth Morris also in the other BMW. You know, maybe the BMWs are going to be putting a threat to that Jaguar of Scott Dalby this evening, but he'll seem a bit of a way. Rasmus trying to push on. Craig's there in 9th, Adam Morgan in 10th then, and Nick trying to push on. He's trying to actually get that Jaguar up to where he wants to be. He needs to be pushing on quite a bit to get where he is. Craig Thomas at the moment though 9th, Rasmus 8th. It seems like the BMWs are putting on a bit more pressure for this evening, but at the moment Casper is catching up to the back of Chris Wheatley. It just shows how much fuel that Ford GT40 has. So obviously Casper gets that move done. Chris Wheatley can't afford to miss the pit lane this time round, because he will be on fuel fumes and he will be very much not pushing as much as he can. So that's allowed Casper up into 4th then. So that is allowing Scott Dalby to literally probably push on. As I say, this could be between Scott Dalby and Casper. Tonight could be a very different story here at Le Mans for round number 2 of the GR3 endurance racing, brought to you by Go Fudge Yourselves. And it seems that the Eldar Racing is fantastic, battles galore. You know, Eldar Sim have fantastic racing, but at the moment Lee Fitzy, he will be pitting this time round, I'm sure. So that's allowed Casper to try and push. This will allow Casper to try and now push up towards Scott Dalby, but at the moment the gap is going to considerably come down for the guys that are going to go into pit lane. But looking at the battle for 6th and 7th at the moment, Gareth Morris and Daniel seems to be putting that Ford GT40 where he wants to be. He's trying to push on to that BMW. The BMW M6 seems to be pushing all the way. So it looks like there's going to be a lot of battles galore going on for quite some time. I almost thought Chris Wheatley had gone out, stayed out for another lap there, because it looked like it, but obviously he was going into pit lane. So as I say, it is now between the likes of Casper and Scott Dalby and Gareth Morris and Daniel at the moment. This is your top 4 with 56 and 40 seconds to go in the race. Rasmus up into 5th, then Craig Thomas 6th, Adam Morgan in 7th. Looks like Nick's gonna come out or put the hammer down and literally chase them down for what looks like he's in 8th place at the moment. So the guys are in pit lane at the moment, but Sampa's leapfrogged Nick into that 8th place. No, he hasn't. He's just come out just behind Nick. So Sampa in the Audi R8 in 9th, then Lee Fitzy now in 10th, and Chris Wheatley's Ford GT40 in 11th. But all this is playing in the hands of Scott Dalby at the moment in that Jaguar. The Jaguar seems to be the car to be beaten at the moment. Casper needs to get that BMW powering all the way through the corners, not making any mistakes. He hasn't made any mistakes, but you know, it's still a long way to go in this race. Gareth Morris and Daniel's still in 3rd place, or has that changed since? But it looks like Gareth Morris has to chase that Ford GT40. The Ford GT40's fuel tank isn't always the best, but at the moment it's looking good. So far, so good. Rasmus in 5th, then Craig Thomas 6th, Adam Morgan 7th, Nick in 8th, putting his hammer down now, because you can just see exactly, oh, he gets a bit loose, but he's pushing, he's trying to get that Jaguar all the way. Sampa's got that Audi R8 currently on cold tyres though, trying to push on for that 8th place. Lee Fitzy in 10th, followed by Chris Wheatley 11th. So Chris Wheatley's Ford GT40, he's got to push on. Whether he does or not is another thing, but Scott Dalby 25.1 of a second from Casper at the moment. This Jaguar seems to be the pace of the field at the moment, so the F-Type seems to be pushing. You know, maybe it's worked and maybe he's got a good strategy in hand for this evening. It seems like Daniel and Gareth Morris, they're having a bit of a battle, so we'll see exactly what's happening between them. It seems at the moment Gareth Morris seems to have that BMW chasing up for GT40. Will go on board with the BMW of Gareth Morris going through the latter half of the lap now. He's got that Ford GT40 up close and personal. This is going to be very close to see exactly what's going to happen. So, you know, 54 minutes to go in this race. It's going to be anyone's guess to see exactly what's going to happen. So let us know in the comments, guys, what you think is going to happen this evening. Who do you think is going to win, or who do you think is going to push on for some fantastic battles? But at the moment, the battle I'm really focusing on is Gareth Morris and Daniel. At the moment, Daniel seems to have that Ford GT40, it seems. It's a bit dialed up, the number 8 machine, whether he's going to push on quite a bit, but you know, it seems it's going quicker. Gareth Morris, Scott Dalby, however, into pit lane, he's almost out of fuel. This is probably what I was discussing before the race actually even started. Is this why we're seeing so many people push on and try and push away? You know, that's allowed Casper to try and take the race lead again. However, Scott Dalby is yet to get into his pit box. He's just got there now with 53 minutes to go. You know, he's dropped down a bit now. That is unfortunate. So, you know, is it going to play into his advantage though? Because he's now he's got the likes of obviously Casper in first place with Daniel in second, Gareth Morris third, Rasmus fourth, but Craig in fifth. Then is that allowed button as it? No, Scott's come out into fifth place with that fuel all the way topped up to the brim. It seems like the Jaguar, he's obviously trying to play it safe. Is this what he's trying to do? But you know, he's got to now chase these guys down. He's got to wait for them to do that strategy. Maybe his strategy is different. Maybe it's top up the fuel and maybe change tyres later on. But this is where it could hurt. You know, you got the likes of Daniel second, Gareth Morris third, Rasmus in fourth, Craig currently sixth, Scott actually in fifth place. Actually, he's pushing on. He's trying to push these guys, trying to push up back to the front. Craig in sixth, then Adam Morgan seventh. Nick now in eighth with Sampa breathing down his neck slowly but surely in that Audi. The Audi's trying to push that position. So we'll see exactly what's going to happen in this part of the stint. It seems Sampa's got that Audi trying to chase that Jaguar. You can just see the other guys a bit miles ahead. Lee Fitzy in 10th, then Chris Wheatley in 11th. Seems Chris is struggling at the moment. That Ford GT40, I don't know how well it drives, but it seems to be quite a bit. Casper's still leading the race, but Scott Dalby has the fastest lap with a 3:57.7 at the moment. So it seems all or nothing between these guys. Gareth Morris in third, then Rasmus fourth, Scott in fifth at the moment. So it could be between the likes of Casper and Scott this evening. This is what I like about this race. It is going to be fantastic. Craig is trying to push that Aston Martin. He's got to be careful because Adam Morgan's there. So it's going to be very close to see exactly what's going to happen. 4th, 6th and 7th. The battle for 8th and 9th almost together. Nick's trying to push that Jaguar away from the Audi at the moment. The Audi R8 you can just see lurking slowly but surely in the background. It seems with Sampa trying to push that Audi to the maximum. He's trying to get that Audi R8 where he wants it. Well, he's obviously there. So we've got 15 minutes to go in this race. It seems there's going to be a lot of battles galore between these guys. Lee Fitzy's still in 10th, Chris Wheatley in 11th, then But at the moment, is this going to be played into the hands of Scott Dalby? However the race pans out for the latter half of the race, we're not even halfway through, but we will be very soon, and it will be a very close proximity going into the halfway mark. But is this how we are going to be pushing on? It goes a bit wide. What has happened to the Jaguar? What has happened? He's allowed Sampa to get through. Let's see exactly what happened. Has he misjudged his braking point going into this corner? We'll soon find out. Goes for the brakes. Doesn't seem to slow the Jaguar down. So that's dropped him down to 9th place now. That's allowed Sampa in 8th. Lee Fitzey will be catching that other Jaguar very quickly if he gets his foot flat to the floor. Chris Wheatley in 11th, 13.7 now is the gap. So it looks like at the moment Casper tries to push on. Is this going to be where the Jaguar Scott Dalby is going to catch them back up? Is this how it's going to be for the remainder of the race, it seems? But you know, at the moment, Gareth Morris then being chased by Rasmus at the moment. Scott Dalby, however, this guy, I think he might win this evening. If I'm wrong, I do apologise, but you never know. Rasmus trying to chase down Gareth Morris. You can just see both Phil and BMWs, they're both equally matched. Different paint schemes, obviously, but it's going to be very close to see exactly what's going to happen. It's not 1.0 of a second, it's now 0.9 of a second because Rasmus, you can see the Dane, he's trying to push on. He is literally trying to do this. We can see how well the battle's going to go. Rasmus wants that 3rd place because what he wants to do, he wants that 3rd place, because if he doesn't get that 3rd place, he won't be happy. But the next stints are coming up very shortly. Don't get me wrong, Rasmus is almost on the back of Gareth Morris going out of that chicane. It seems Gareth is going to try and defend. You know, I've commentated on Gareth for quite some time now. He is a well-established racer. He has won races in the past, and it seems like, you know, he wants to try and push on for another solid result this evening. So Scott Dalby will be chasing these guys down. Adam Morgan now 6th. Craig in 7th, Sampa in 8th, Nick currently still in 9th then, trying to push that Luke Reed sponsored Janetta Jaguar in 9th at the moment. Lee Fitzey 10th and Chris Wheatley struggling at the moment in 11th, but Casper is almost there. Gareth Morrison, Rasmus, they're almost side by side going in towards our knife here. I believe it's going to be very close. They're almost side by side. Who's going to be the last break in? Rasmus gets there, so that's slowing him down. Look at that brake disc slowing. It looks like Rasmus has a massive charge. He's almost got Gareth Morris right behind him now. Gareth Morris has got to be careful because he's got Scott Dalby right behind him. So Scott Dalby, maybe this guy is unstoppable. At the moment, he's going to be putting them BMWs under threat. You can just see the BMWs having a bit of dirty air, but Scott Dalby takes the pair of them. What is going on? What is going on in this race? It seems the BMWs are struggling at the moment. Maybe their strategy is coming towards the next part of the stint with 46, I beg your pardon, 46 minutes, just under 46 minutes to go in this race. It is going to be very close. So Scott Dalby back up into 3rd. Daniel and of course Casper, they're almost catching each other up too. So the BMW seem to be having a bit of a problem. Is it to do with the airflow, or is it just the way it's going at the moment? It is going to be very close. I'll tell you what, it could be fantastic to see how well things go between these two racers as well. But Scott Dalby will be catching these guys up very shortly. But it looks like Casper at the moment, he's going to be pushing on. You know, it looks like at the moment, is he going to stay out for another lap? And yes, he does, so he stays up for another lap. Got to be careful because Daniel's going to be catching him. Scott's just there in third, doing a stellar job at the moment. Whether this is exactly what is going to happen towards the end of the race, obviously Rasmus and Gareth Morris, both BMW drivers pushing on. Adam Morgan there 6th, Craig still in 7th, Samper 8th, Nick in 9th, Lee Fitzy trying to chase him down, 7.1 of a second at the moment then. Chris Wheatley seems to be struggling at the moment, 14.0 of a second. It seems that for GT40 he's having a bit of an issue this evening, whether he's picked up too many penalties or whether it's just it's not performing right for him. Daniel's still in 2nd, trying to chase down Casper. Casper goes a bit wide. Casper's got a bit of an issue. Did he pick up a penalty? Because that's allowed Daniel to close that gap to 1.1 of a second. This is going to be very close now for the race lead. But the other stint are going to be happening. Scott Dalby, however, 10.1. He's now 10.1 of a second from Daniel at the moment. Daniel's actually 0.4 of a second from Casper at the moment. Casper seems to be struggling in that BMW. Whether it's down to the strategy now, the mediums seem to be a bit pushed. Maybe not too bad, but the wares slowly, surely coming thick and fast as Daniel tries to make a move. We knew this was going to happen. 43 minutes on the clock to go. This is going to be very close. Daniel gets that Ford GT40 into the lead then. Casper 2nd, Scott Dalby. However, this the Jaguar man seems to be pushing. He's doing a fabulous job at the moment then. With Rasmus 4th, Gareth Morris 5th. It seems the BMWs are having a bit of an issue. I don't know if they're having a bit of a problem, but they're still 4th and 5th. Adam Morgan 6th, Craig Thomas still 7th. Samper 8th, Nick in 9th then, trying to push that Jaguar on, whether he's just made too many mistakes with that braking issue, or he's just trying to play it cool, because we've still got a bit to go. We actually are at the halfway point of the race then. So it seems to be Lee Fitzy currently trying to push on in 10th place with Chris Wheatley at 11th. It seems that Daniel and Casper, these guys may be pitting this time round. It seems the Ford GT40, the fuel tank in that Ford GT40 seems to be pushing away from that BMW. Scott Dalby, however, you know what's going to happen. You know what's going to happen. He's brought that gap down now though. Rasmus and Gareth Morris, they're almost going to be pushing the 2 VLM BMW M6s. These guys are going to be battling. Got to be careful though, because you do not want to make mistakes. And it seems at the moment like we're on lap number 12. Oh, Gareth Morris has gone wide. That's what I meant. You don't want to be making mistakes, especially when you're trying to get up further the field. But at the moment it looks like Daniel will be hopping into pit lane. Will he, or will he stay out for another lap? We'll see exactly what's going to happen. So the German trying to push away from the Dane at the moment. It seems the Ford GT40 and the BMW battle. This could be going into pit lane, so is that how they're going to pan it out? We'll soon find out. Looks like Daniel goes into pit lane and Casper will stay out. That's going to allow Scott Dalby up into 2nd. So this is where it's going to happen with 41 minutes to go on the clock before the checkered flag drops here at Le Mans for the Go Fudge ESR GR3 Endurance. This is going to be close, guys. This is what we want to see. But you know, Rasmus will be in 3rd. Gareth Morris stays out as well, so it could be falling into the hands of Scott Dalby once everyone else goes into the strategies and goes back into that zone where they're going to have to take a lot of tyres now. Craig will come across the line, 6th place at the moment. Samper, however, 7th, doing a stellar job in that Audi R8. Whether the Audi pushes on. Nick goes into pit lane. He's almost out of fuel. in that Jaguar then, so that's probably why he was struggling. Lee Fitzy, however, drifting his way out of the final chicanes, so he'll be 9th. Chris Wheatley 11th, could be soon 10th place. Daniel comes out in 8th then, so that's a good stop from the Ford GT40 crew. But however, Craig Thomas gets up to Adam Morgan, but he has a 0.5 second of a penalty. This is going to hurt him because he wants to get that position as well. He knows he's going to be having to take that. He knows he's going to have to. It's going to hurt him though. He is going to hurt him. Or is it going to be very close? We'll see exactly what is going to happen. So it sounds like Nick's going to be on his final stint of the night. So let's see what the Luke Reed Ginetta style Jaguar is going to do. He's on the final stint. So, you know, it's going to be very close to see exactly what is going to happen. So at the moment, Craig's dropped back to Adam Morgan then because of taking that penalty. However, looking at what's going to happen, I think Casper is going to be pushing for the next couple of seconds. Look at that fuel gauge, it's just turned to red just as we went back to him. You can just see Scott Dalby 5.5 of a second, 5.4 now. It's going to be on between Casper and of course Scott. I reckon if my prediction serves me correctly this evening, I will be happy. Oh, Scott's clipped that curb, he's hopped the marker post, it sent the car, according to what it does on the screen, it sent it into overdrive and made him have flying lessons. Rasmus's brake discs are glowing, so you know you can just see Rasmus's BMW as well as Gareth Morris's BMWs. The BMWs have got fuel. Craig Thomas has got past Adam Morgan. Are we going to see what happened there? He's already got past. So that's going to allow the Welsh boys to try and catch up to the likes of Casper and of course the rest of the field. But you know, who knows what's going to happen. So Craig's still in 5th with Adam Morgan 6th, Sampa 7th, Daniel in 8th and Lee Fitzy 9th, Chris Wheatley now 10th, and Nick on his final stop of the evening now in 11th. So this is where it could be very close. We'll see exactly what is going to happen, whether he pushes on for that place. But we've got 37 and 20 seconds to go in this race, so it's going to be quite close, and probably who knows what is going to happen between now and then. We're looking at the race leader then, Casper. Casper seems to be pushing. Obviously he is going to be jumping into pit lane. I thought he was staying out for another lap, but it looks like at the moment then that will allow Scott Dalby to take the lead of the race. If you get me words out then, Scott Dalby takes the lead then in that Jaguar. Rasmus in 3rd then. Is this going to be a very quick stop, or is Gareth Morris, he's had a bit of a penalty while trying to chase down Rasmus, but both of them go into pit lane. Craig goes into pit lane, will go into pit lane. I'm sure Adam Morgan will do the same, but it could be very close. This is going to be close, but actually Adam Morgan at the moment then stays out. But is this going to be close? Looking at the cars though, however, Sampa in 3rd place in that Audi, then the Audi seems to be enjoying a bit more now, it seems. Daniel in 4th then, but this is where it's going to be very close. Looking at the guys that have pitted, it's going to be very close. Lee Fitzy there, Casper up into 4th then. Casper up into 4th, I could be right for my prediction, it could be, but he's got Daniel all over the back of him. The Ford GT40 on sort of now fresh-ish rubber. In 5th place with Casper 4th. Sampa's going to be pushing on. He's going to be obviously pitting next time round. However, Scott Dalby though, looking at this guy, 31.7 of a second ahead of Adam Morgan at the moment. This is what we like to see with this racing. It is going to be close. It is going to be close. I will be back in a moment. I just need to loose, so I will be back in a moment. So let's see what's happening. I do apologise. Casper in fourth then with Daniel trying to chase him down. It seems that the Ford GT40 is going to be pushing on quite a bit. You know, this is going to be very close. 34 minutes to go in the race then. Lee Fitzy 6th. However, Casper's countryman Rasmus 7th. Gareth Morris in 8th then. Chris Wheatley 9th. Craig Thomas 11th, and Nick currently in 11th, trying to get that Jaguar where he wants to be. It almost seems a lot of things he's going to be pushing on with 33 minutes and 47 minutes remaining. This is going to be close to Scott Dalby. However, this guy is on top form. It's going to be very close to see exactly what is going to happen. So we'll see exactly how well things are going to go. It's going to be very close, and hopefully we'll see exactly what is going to happen between the guys at the moment. And however, looking at Scott Dalby though, still leading the race. Adam Morgan there, he's almost out of fuel as well. But that's going to be allowing the likes of Casper and of course Daniel to try and close up. So Daniel could be on for a good result here in the Ford GT40. 33 minutes to go in this stint. It could be very close indeed. I'll tell you what is going on this evening for the likes of Gareth Morris and Rasmus at the moment. The BMWs seem to, VLN BMWs seem to be a bit of a struggle. But this is where it's going to get very close. We'll see exactly what's going to happen. But Scott Dalby leads the race. He still has the fastest lap. This guy is unbeatable at the moment. And looking likely he's going to be pushing quite some time. 32.5 minutes to go. This is where he's going to get tooth and nail. But that is allowed Samper to try and push on. He's going to be there. The Finnish driver getting that Audi R8. Is he going to stay out for another lap? Yes, he is, because you can just see the likes of Adam Morgan jumping into pit lane. You can just see that Aston Martin jumping into pit lane. That's allowed the likes of Casper to get where he is, it looks like at the moment. It's throwing the blue flag glitch at the moment though. However, this is where it's going to be very close between Samper and of course Casper at the moment. Both Scandinavian drivers going into the Dunlop chicane. It looks like they were getting a bit loose. Daniel in that Ford GT4, you can just see pushing on. Lee Fitzy in 5th then, Rasmus in 6th, Gareth Morris 7th, Chris Wheatley 8th, Craig Thomas in 9th then, with Adam Morgan still in pit lane. This could be vital. This could be very vital indeed. I'll tell you what is going to happen this evening. It seems at the moment Nick's got that Luke Reed Ginetta trying to push on, but Adam Morgan goes out of pit lane just as Nick gets through the final corner. That's a bit going to hurt quite a bit, but you know, we are going to be in for quite some time. It looks like with 31 minutes to go, this could be a tooth and nail battle between Casper. Casper's got to be careful. He's got past Samper with great ease. It looked like it was almost contact between the pair of them. Samper will be pushing that Audi R8 to its limit. At the moment, this is where it's going to be close. From what I can see, Samper though currently still 3rd with Daniel 4th at the moment. But this is going to be fantastic. I'll tell you what, some of these guys may be on their final stints, maybe a splash and dash just to get a couple of bits of fuel home, but it's going to be very close to see exactly what's going to happen for the last half an hour of the race. It could be a lot of pressure for some of these guys. We'll see exactly what's happening. Craig and Adam Morgan in 9th and 10th respectively, and Nick's still in 11th at the moment. Maybe he's just pushing on, trying to get that Jaguar. Scott Dalby is going to have to pit this time round. He's got a good gap though. He's got 37.7 of a second at the moment from Casper at the moment, so you know, Samper's almost there. Samper's almost out of fuel too, so the Audi and BMW, the Jaguar rather, will have to pit this time round. But looking at what I am seeing at the moment though, Scott will have the advantage because he is towards that half of the latter half of the lap. You know, look at that Jaguar, it is piling that gap further and further from Casper at the moment. Casper needs to put the hammer down to get back in front, but I tell you what is going to happen? Let us know in the comments, guys, what you think. Do you think Scott's got this win, or do you think the likes of Casper is gonna get him? You know, Lee Fitzy is almost out of fuel too in that Jaguar, the other Jaguar. Rasmus still there in 6th then. Gareth Morris 7th. Chris Wheatley's Ford GT40 almost out of fuel. So Scott Dalby makes it into pit lane with Casper still quite a bit of away from him at the moment, it seems. But this is where it's going to be close. What is happening? Casper's coming through that latter half of the lap now. He's coming through the latter half. This is going to be tooth and nail. This could be close. Scott's going to have to try and get that gap a bit more bigger, but has he got that gap bigger or has he lost it now? Because looking at the gap, it seems to have grown. It's shrinking severely. Casper comes out into first place though. However, this is going to be close. This is going to be close. Scott's got a bit of a advantage. We'll see exactly what's going to happen, but it looks like a long pit stop for the likes of Scott, but Scott comes out in 3rd. This is going to be close. We'll see exactly what's going to happen, but I'll tell you what, according to some of the comments here, Casper is on a mission. He absolutely is, mate. Don't get me wrong, but I'll tell you what, Daniel in 2nd then. However, Scott now in 3rd then, with that full tank on the softs, with 27.5, just under 27.5 minutes to go in this race. This could be between now and never, between Scott and of course Casper and maybe Daniel. But this is where the battles are going to happen. You know, I have a feeling though that Casper and Daniel are going to have to pit again. Rasmus still in 4th place now. Gareth Morris 5th. So the BMWs could be going strong with 27 minutes on the clock to go. This is going to be where the battles could be happening. Adam Morgan in 7th, then Samper 8th in that Audi. Nick in 9th, then that Jaguar. He did say he was on the final stop. Maybe the stints may help him, but you know, it's going to be very careful. Lee Fitzy in 10th and Chris Wheatley in 11th. So the Ford GT40, however, could be on course for maybe a good result, but we'll see exactly what's going to happen. Casper, however, still leading the race then from Daniel at the moment. Scott Dalby, however, chasing him with great ease. This could be, the battle could be quite interesting. You know, looking at exactly what's going to happen for this evening within the pit stops and strategies. Scott Dalby, however, this guy is, you know, just to put it out there, he took part in a Bathurst 12-hour event over the weekend, and it's, you know, that is a 3-hour race itself. In the well, obviously it was 12 hours, but it was 3 hours as a stint, and you know, this guy may be forced to be reckoned for this evening. Looking at that Jaguar at the moment, it seems the Jaguar has got that GT40 chasing that GT40. Rasmus already under threat from Gareth Morris. You know, he seems like with 25 minutes and 18 seconds to go in this race, it could be a BMW in either position. but it's where it's going to be chased is another thing, you know. Some of these guys may be thinking, well, what I've got to do to get away from these guys, it's going to be fantastic to see exactly what happens. But looking at the gap between Gareth Morris and of course Rasmus, it's 0.7. Gareth's trying to get that BMW, the other VLM BMW, up close to the other one of Rasmus on the run. It seems like that at the moment, but it's getting very close towards the latter half of the race. Scott Dalby, however, this guy, he's on a mission himself. He's gone really fast through that section. We know how quick that Jaguar is getting now. Daniel is going to be pushing all the way. He seems to be wanting exactly what is going to happen. However, Casper is going to be pushing. We know Casper could win this race this evening. We know the likes of Daniel could even win the race, or even this guy, Scott Dalby. He's an absolute fanatic racer. He's absolute unstoppable this evening. Rasmus and Gareth, they're almost together now, going out towards the final chicanes of the lap. This is where it's going to get close. Could be getting tooth and nail between these guys now. Let's see exactly what's going to happen between the VLN BMWs at the moment, going through the latter half of the lap now, across the line to take another lap. So this is where it's going to happen. 23.5 minutes to go in this race. It could be anyone's battles for potentially second and third, between fourth and fifth. We'll see what's happening between fourth and fifth in a moment or two. Well, Scott Dalby, however, is trying to get past Daniel's Ford GT40. Doesn't want to get held up by it too much because he wants to try and catch up to Casper. But you know, this is where it's going to be fantastic between the pair of them. Scott Dalby goes on that inside line, gets past Daniel with great ease through the Jaguar with that sort of lime green Jaguar on the side of it. Looks very tasty, but he's getting that battle. He's got Daniel for second now. Gareth Morris and Rasmus, these two are almost nose to tail, side by side though. However, you can just see both BMWs for fourth and fifth now, respectively. 22.5 minutes to go in this race. This is where it's going to be tooth and nail. Gareth Morris and Rasmus, oh, they almost make contact. But that's allowed. Oh, Gareth Morris has a 1 second penalty. Oh dear. Oh dear, that is not going to be good, because that is now going to be playing into the hands of Rasmus. Rasmus will have to try and make that other move. But at the moment it looks like Scott's got that legs of the Ford GT40. However, 7.7, 7.8 between Scott and Casper at the moment. This is where it could be close. This is where the racing seems to be pushing quite a bit. But Rasmus and Gareth Morris, they're still battling for fourth and fifth. The BMW seem to be where they want to be, pushing quite a bit. Rasmus wants this place, but it's going to be very close. Let us know, guys, what you think and who you think will take the race win this evening. It seems that Gareth and Rasmus. Gareth gets that move done on Rasmus. Rasmus won't be happy with that. You can see how quick Rasmus brakes are glowing on all four corners of that BMW this evening. Trying to push on and trying to push Gareth Morris all the way. Gareth Morris needs to push on quite a bit. You've got the likes of Casper. Casper still leading the race then. Scott Dalby second. Daniel still in third then. This is where it is getting close again. I can't believe how well the battles have been. Gareth and Rasmus. Rasmus gives him a bit of a tap. Rasmus gives him a bit of a tap there, but you know, it could be very close between the pair of them with 20 minutes and 40 seconds on the clock. Some of these guys may be pitting for just a splash and dash of fuel towards the end, but who knows. Craig in 6th then, Samper in 7th with Adam Morgan 8th, Nick in 9th then, Lee Fitzy 10th and Lee Fitzy in 10th, followed by Chris Wheatley in 11th. But Casper's coming through the latter half of the chicanes now to tick off lap number 17. This could be the battle what we've been looking for, because Scott has now broken quite a bit from Daniel now. It seems Daniel's like 2.5, now 2.7 of a second from Scott at the moment. But Gareth Morris has got past Rasmus yet again. The two BMWs, I told you, this is exactly what we like to see in this race, in this championship even. It's going to be very tooth and nail between everyone towards the latter half of the laps. You know, time is slowly but surely running out for these guys. Craig Thomas hops, skips and jumps that curb. Whether he does or not is another thing, but we'll see exactly what's going to happen. Craig Thomas now steals the fastest lap with a 3 minute 37.7. So Scott Dalby has got to get that Jaguar pushing up. He's like 7.2 of a second at the moment from Casper. Casper has that BMW, you know, the normal BMW M6 seems to be pushing, seems to be in this victory this evening. 19 minutes to go in this race then. Scott's going to be pushing, but I think Casper is going to be taking another stint. It seems like we're going to be in course for a very interesting finish. I'll tell you what, it seems Nick's got a change of strategy, so you know he's in pit lane at the moment. That's Luke Reed inspired Ginetta Jaguar livery seems to be pushing, but Scott Dalby, however, looking at the gap now, 6.0, but it grows and then it shrinks. But this is going to be very weird, because I tell you what, Casper wants a win, but then so does Scott Dalby. But I've said as soon as the pit stops started, we knew Scott was going to be on the money. We knew he was going to be pushing where he wanted to be. You know, this guy is unstoppable. So is Casper. 18 minutes to go in this race. So Scott and Casper are your top two, followed by Daniel. Daniel in that Fudge GT40. This guy is unstoppable himself. Gareth Morris 4th. Rasmus now 5th. Craig Thomas 6th. Sampras 7th. Adam Morgan 8th. Lee Fitzey 9th. Chris Wheatley 10th. And Nick currently 11th. But who knows what it's going to bring with 17.5 minutes to go in this race. This is going to be close. My heart is going to sink for one of the drivers if anything happens, but at the moment I think Scott is going to be the man who is going to be chasing the likes of Casper all the way. You know exactly what is going to happen. Daniel will have to pit, so that third place may be to no avail, but it could be very close. Gareth Morris, however, is 22.9, but Daniel could have this pit stop. If he just goes for fuel, he will be fine. But it all depends whether he's done exactly another stint on tyres, but he may have done. But at the moment, Scott Dalby, you can just see he's chasing this guy down, Casper Bruckner. He seems like Casper's going to be getting that BMW. Look at that BMW, it seems to be flying. 6.1 of a second to Scott. Is he going to try and do something? He's staying out for another lap, however. He's staying out for another lap, so that's going to be putting Scott to try and put pedal to the metal now. This is what is going to happen with 16 minutes to go in this race. Daniel jumps into pit lane, and Gareth Morris, however, is Gareth going to do exactly the same? Because he's almost out of fuel himself. Is he just going to top fuel up and just try and push on? Or is Rasmus going to be doing exactly the same? He's almost getting caught by Craig Thomas, but Craig's going to have to pit. That's going to be a bit of an unfortunate time for Craig, because he was catching up to Rasmus. Rasmus also jumps into pit lane now. So, however, that's allowed Gareth Morris into third place then. However, Daniel's still there in pit lane. They are about to work on his car. It is going to be tooth and nail. 15 minutes and 22 seconds. is the time to go before checker flag does drop here at Le Mans. The guys must be aching now. You know, it is a long way to go. Samper up into 4th then in that Audi. It seems up, but Daniel's pipped him. Daniel's back out in 4th place. Casper is still 6.0 of a second. He's now 5.9. Scott has got to be excuse me. Scott is going to be pushing him. I know if it's anything like these guys, you know, Scott's got the fastest lap yet again with a 3 minute 57.4. This is where it's going to be very close. We shall see. But the top, you can just see exactly what is happening. Is Scott trying to push to the end? Casper's also there, 5.9 of a second. You know, this is close. This is going to be very close. Gareth Morris 3rd, Daniel 4th at the moment, Samper 5th, then Adam Morgan 6th, Rasmus 7th. However, Craig in 8th, Lee Fitzy 9th, Chris Wheatley 10th, and currently still in 11th with 14 minutes to go in this race. This is where it's going to go down to the latter half of the race. Now this is going to be close. The gap's come down. It's come down. You can just see the BMW of Casper trying to escape, but look at this. This is going to be fantastic. Scott Dalby, however, you can just see that Jaguar just about 5.7. I'm a bit kind of nervous now for both Casper and of course Scott at the moment, because this is where it's going to get close. You know, who knows exactly what's going to happen. Gareth Morris, he's almost out of fuel, so that's going to give Daniel maybe 3rd place again, but we'll see exactly what's happening. Casper goes a bit wide onto the dust, but you've got 13 minutes to go in this race. This could be where strategies may happen. Stints have been fantastic. Racing has been absolutely out of this world this evening. Gareth Morris done 3rd, Daniel 4th, Samper 5th, Adam Morgan 6th, Rasmus 7th then, Craig trying to chase him down in 8th place at the moment then, Lee Fitzy in 9th, currently there, Chris Wheatley in 10th then, and Nick's Jaguar in 11th at the moment. But I think Casper's going to be pitting this time round. He's almost out of fuel. He's probably thinking, right, yes, splash and dash now. Scott Dalby, however, looking at the Jaguar, he jumps in for a splash and dash as well. So this is going to be the race is going to be on. Adam Morgan's Aston Martin has had a bit of a failure with around 12 minutes to go. This race is going to be on. Scott Dalby's got quite a bit more fuel than Casper. This is going to be on, ladies and gents. This is going to be a tooth and nail battle. I am looking at what Daniel is doing at the moment. That is Daniel in the Ford GT40. What is he going to do? Because is he going to inherit the race lead, or is someone else going to inherit it? We will soon find out. 11.5 minutes to go in this race. This is going to be close. This is going to be fantastic. Who is going to come out of pit lane? It looks like Casper's got there. Scott's a bit delayed, so Casper gets out, but Casper's on fresh rubber, and so is Scott. Oh my goodness. Oh, Scott's got a 5/10 penalty. Oh no, he doesn't need this. He does not need this. If he wants to chase Casper for the race lead, he doesn't need it. He's still got 11 minutes to go though. However, Daniel in 3rd, Samper 4th then. The Audi R8 driver, look at that, that is an absolute stunner. To see exactly what the Audi R8 driver is going to do. Gareth Morris in 5th then, Craig Thomas in 6th, now Rasmus 7th, Lee Fitzy in 8th, Chris Wheatley in 9th, and Nick in 10th then. This is where it's going to be fantastic. You know, this is what we've been seeing all evening. I tell you what, I said it would be between Casper and Scott, and I'll tell you what, I am quite surprised of that prediction this evening. But at the moment though, however, Scott is like 5.5 now. You can just see the Jaguar in that background, just about there with 10 minutes to go in this race. This is going to be down to the wire. 10 minutes to go then. You know, this has been fantastic between Scott and of course Casper this evening. Who would have thought this? Who would have thought this at the start of the evening? You know, who would have thought even Daniel getting on the podium? Fair play to him. He is doing fantastic. Sampa in fourth then. Who would have thought Sampa, after qualifying towards the tail of the field in that Audi R8, you know, fourth place when Gareth Morris, fifth, 9.5 minutes to go. I think there's going to be a battle. I'm praying there is a battle for first place, because this is what I want to see, and this is what I live for in Coventry. Scott Dalby, however, you can just see Casper there, 5.4. Is this going to be close? Is this going to be what we're wanting? Because this is where the 9 minutes now are going to count. You know, time is slowly but surely running out for these guys. This is where we are going to be on course for a fantastic night of racing. I tell you what, who would have thought all this evening? You know, the likes of Scott Dalby, obviously, he's on fire. He's 5.4 a second now, 5.3. I'm a bit slightly concerned, however, but I'm not, because it's going to be a good battle if it does come down to a battle. Sampa fourth, Gareth Morris in fifth, and Craig sixth. Rasmus, however, 2.5 of a second. Was it 2.8? No, 2.8. I do apologise. 2.9 now, with Craig in front of him. Lee Fitz in 8th, Chris Wheatley in 9th, and Nick in 10th, and Hobson jumps that curb. You know, maybe he's just pushing on quite a bit now, for quite a bit, with 8 minutes to go in this race. It's coming, the gap's grown a bit, it's probably going to grow a bit more for quite a bit. But however, these guys are going to be on it now, because the tyres will be up to optimum temperature now. This is where it's going to be fantastic. Casper ticks off another lap with 7.5 minutes to go. This is where it's going to be tooth and nail between these guys. Let's see exactly what's going to happen. You know, Scott's still there with that fastest lap with a 3 minute 57.4 at the moment, with 7 minutes and 15 seconds rather to go. This is going to be down to the wire, and then down to the wire for these guys. 5.6, 5.7. The gap's growing. Oh, this is going to be a nail biter. Daniel still in third, then Sampa fourth, Gareth Morris in fifth, Craig in 8th, and Rasmus still there, chasing him down in 7th place at the moment. You can see that BMW. Rasmus gets the fastest lap now with a 3 minute 57.3. However, Lee Fitz in 8th, and Chris Wheatley 9th, and Nick still in 10th. 6.5 minutes to go. This is going to be close. Scott's got to be wary. Followed the gap. The gap's like 5.7, but is he going to do it? Is he going to be able to do it between now and then? Because he's got 6 minutes to go. Casper goes purple in that sector. This could be on, but I tell you what, it is going to be close. It is going to be close. I'll tell you what do I think? This is where everything counts between everyone now. You know, 6 minutes to go in this race. Scott Dalby, however, will have this. He will try and push on. Craig is under threat from Rasmus. At the moment, Rasmus seems to be putting quite a lot of interest. He's got Craig there. Craig's almost trying to defend. You can see the Aston Martin diving, well, not diving literally, but literally going one way to another. This is fantastic stuff. I can't believe what we've seen. 5 minutes and 25 seconds on the clock to go. Adam Morgan still comes back, but you know, it's probably a bit too late now. Rasmus on the attack, and from Craig's going to try and get the move done. They're almost side by side. Who's going to be last at the brakes? Oh, Rasmus gets there. You know what's going to happen. But what is happening for the race lead? 5 minutes to go then, 5 minutes to go. Scott is probably going to have to settle for second. But is he? Going to settle for second? This is fantastic stuff from the pair of them. I was predicting this as soon as the first round of the stints happened. Casper, however, you can't fault this guy. He's won races in the past. You know, he seems to be on the mission. Scott Dalby with 4.5 minutes to go. He's 5.9 of a second, however, but this is where it's going to count, because there is a lot of drivers out there. Samper currently under threat from Gareth Morris. Gareth Morris trying to put that Audi under pressure. 1.2 of a second with 4 minutes to go in this race. This is where it's going to be tooth and nail between a lot of drivers. Craig's got back in front of Rasmus, however, so it looks like these two are having a bit of a battle. 4 minutes to go on the clock. This is going to be close. Scott, I don't think Scott's going to catch up to Casper unless Casper needs to do something more serious. He's still there in the race lead. He's still there. Still there for the time being. It's going to be very close. Scott still in second then. So it's going to be very close with 3.5 minutes to go. So we could be on to the final lap. This is where it's going to be close. Daniel still in third. Samper fourth. Gareth Morris with that BMW slightly but surely catching that Audi. You can just see Samper is going to have to try and be careful. We know what Gareth Morris is like. Gareth Morris races with pure passion, and he races with proper adrenaline pumping through his veins. Samper has a bit of a slide there, but he's got through that chicane, so we're going on to the final lap then. However, Craig Thomas and Gareth Morris, these two will be having that battle too. This is where it's going to get close then. Are we going to be on course for a very photo finish between quite a lot of drivers? Lee Fitzy in that Jaguar is still there in 8th, with Chris in his Ford GT40 9th, and Nick currently still in 10th. But you know, the gap has considerably come down, or has it? It seems to have grown, or has it? Because this is where it now matters. This is going to be close. Scott Dalby, however, comes through that chicane. He's got, it's like 6.7, 6.5 of a second. It's now grown again. Oh, this is going to be scary for Scott, but 2 minutes to go. Samper and Gareth Morris, however, they're almost side by side. The Audi has to tuck back in behind that BMW. 2 minutes to go. This is going to be the final lap. This is going to be fantastic. Samper tries to go another way on Gareth Morris. Gareth Morris has a bit of a break. Gareth Morris gets there. Samper has to settle, tucks back right in, but this is where it's going to be close. Rasmus has got Craig though for 6th place, however, so this is where it's going to be happening. Scott, however, may have to settle for 2nd place this evening, but this has been the battle. That is what I predicted, and I tell you what an absolute revelation. Samper and Gareth Morris. Samper and Gareth Morris. Gareth Morris is almost out of fuel, so is Samper. These guys have pushed their cars to the limit, and this is where it's going to happen. Rasmus in 6th then, Craig in 7th, almost out of fuel. Lee Fitz in 8th, Chris Wheatley 9th, and Nick still in 10th for the moment. But Casper, however, with a minute to go, he will be coming to take the checkered flag, because I don't think he's going to get another lap in before the timer runs out. 50 seconds remain. This is going to be very close between Gareth Morris and, of course, Samper. These two with 40 seconds to go. This is going to be fantastic. I can't believe what we've witnessed here this evening. It looks like Gareth's friend Craig, though Craig's almost out of fuel. Craig must be on fumes. His cousin Lee Fitzy must be on fumes too. Chris Wheatley must be on fumes. Nick's got a bit in the tank, but 15 seconds to go. Casper will come through this lap. It will be a victory for Casper. Casper will take a victory. Oh, I can't believe how well he's driven tonight. This has actually been fantastic between the likes of Casper and of course Scott Dalby. Scott's probably going to be very gutted, but you know, fair play to the pair of them. Congratulations to Casper coming through the final turn right now, drifting a bit sideways, about to take the checkered flag and take a well-deserved victory this evening. Scott Dalby, however, he will be ecstatic with second place. What a drive, my friend. That was absolutely fantastic, and I'll tell you what, Daniel almost out of fuel, but he's unstoppable. He will come home in third for the Ford GT40 driver, and what an absolutely stellar drive from him as well. This is what has been living up to great expectations this evening. Daniel comes home in third, then flashes the lights. He will be happy with that. Gareth Morris will pip Samper to fourth place across the line. The pair of them fourth and fifth, then Rasmus in sixth, then almost out of fuel too, coming home. That's a solid result from the Dane. Craig Thomas, however, seventh. Lee Fitzy in eighth, then coming through the latter half now. This has been a fantastic race. It's going to be very close. I can't believe what else is going to happen, but just looking at the other guys here this evening, it seems that we've got some great racing. Looking forward to it, and it is going to be very close. But I'll tell you what, Lee Fitzy will be in eighth, then with Chris Wheatley in ninth. It seems the Ford GT40 almost out of fuel as well. Nick's almost out of fuel in that Jaguar as well, but Chris Wheatley will come home in ninth, then Nick will come home in 10th. What a stellar race between everyone this evening. With only one retirement, with Adam Morgan didn't finish. I'll tell you what a stellar race. And it looked like all the field had picked up penalties somehow in that race, but Casper takes a well-deserved victory. And I honestly thought to God that Scott Dalby was going to be pushing quite a bit, but I'll tell you what, we'll go through the results after an hour and a half of racing here at the Circuit de la South at Le Mans for the Eldar Sim Go Fudge Yourself GR3 Endurance Championship. Casper takes a well-deserved victory after an hour and a half racing. He had an absolutely stellar race with Scott Dalby this evening. Scott Dalby finishes second, with Daniel third. That is an absolute fantastic result for Daniel. Gareth Morris in fourth, Samper fifth, Rasmus sixth, Craig Thomas in seventh, Lee Fitzy in eighth, followed by Chris Wheatley in ninth, Nick in 10th. Sadly, we lost Adam Morgan from the race. I don't know what exactly happened to his Aston Martin. Maybe he had a bit of an issue, but Casper takes the fastest lap on towards the last lap with a 3 minute 56.3. And if it's anything like last week, what a stellar event. I'll tell you what, next week is going to be even better, but before then you will be seeing the likes of me in the commentary box, yet again the one and only Hoppers, for the Shell Lawman Motorsport British Touring Car Championship on Wednesday, where we are Blue Moon, and then we are at Brands Hatch Grand Prix for the World Supercars on Friday. So you will have me 3 times this week. I'll tell you what, guys, what a stellar race we have seen this evening. I was absolutely speechless now, but thank you guys for tuning in. Let's see what happens. I'll tell you what, it is going to be fantastic. I can't wait to see what is going to happen next week for the next round of the Endurance Championship, as well as the rest of the week. And thank you so much, guys. Thank you for tuning in as per usual. And please like and subscribe and follow Eldar Sim Racing. It would mean a lot to us, guys. Thank you so much. Until next week, or until Wednesday, when you hear my voice again, I will see you guys Wednesday for the BTCC, when it's going to be fantastic. I can't wait. So until then, guys, I've been Hoppers. Take care. I'll see you soon. Ta-ra.